Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 10th installment of Make Podcasting Great Again. We have a bit of a lineup shake today as we do not have my assistant, Gavin, but we still have to my left, Mr. Jacob Katzenberg. To the bottom of me, Mr. Colby and Austin, and Caddy Corner. To the bottom left, we have Mr. Austin Davis. Those two are playing in the game of the week this week, and we are excited to have them talk a little shit to each other this week. We have no music as Gavin's not here, so we will just jump right into the weekend review. So while I pull this up, Austin, Colby, any comments on how your teams played this last week?
I would like to say another thorough annihilating once again by the Mexican tap water. Really taking out all of the Mexicans. It's that good of tap water. It's just deadly.
Let's go. All right, so let's just start with something quick and simple, and we want to get through these quicker than we normally do since we have you two fine gentlemen on today. All I'm going to say is I'm finally on the board.
There you go.
I'm not the last person to win a game, and that's all that matters for me. Heineke is a god. Thank you, Heineke. Thank you, Lauren.
Welcome to the club.
Dude, fuck the rest of my team. We don't need them. Dub City. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say about this game other than Taylor Heineke and McLaurin carried Sam to victory. So against a formidable opponent, I mean, Calvin Ridley again underperforming.
He's out now too.
Yep. Now he's out for personal reasons. Which did he ever? Was it released what the personal reasons are? Because I think it might just be the fact that Matt Ryan is his quarterback.
I thought at first it might have been like the vaccine. Maybe he couldn't go to England because he wasn't vaccinated or something.
Oh.
The Falcons were the first team to be 100% vaccinated. So it's not that.
Oh, that is right. I forgot about that.
Shit.
But I definitely thought that. I was like, oh, he's probably not vaccinated. But I doubt that's what it is.
I'll tell you what, Cody is having some really bad luck this year. He's put up a lot of points and not gotten a lot of wins. And shout out to me for basically playing someone who had scored 0 points or less now.
Yeah.
In 3 straight weeks. So.
Oh, also on the defense, the Rams defense -1. Looks like Arizona might be the new Kansas City, and the fact that you just can't play any defense against them.
I was gonna say, like, who is his backup defense? Because I would have not started them against Arizona.
Yeah.
He could have a backup kicker technically. I know there's not a lot of defenses that are worth it.
I don't think he has one. He's just
he has the young ho. He's got the young ho.
He should have definitely picked one up this week. Like,
no bueno. You're playing the Cardinals, don't play their defense. Dude, save the Cowboys too. No offense. Don't. Yeah. Because the Panthers were playing the Cowboys this week, and there were reasons I didn't start them, and I'm very happy I didn't because they put up a -5. All right, let's move on quickly here to the next one, and we have the commissioner, Mr. Eli Miller, losing to last week's guest, Colton Hitch.
Yes.
Under things that you love to see. We love seeing Eli here on the show. Is it time for Fraud Watch, Mr. Berg? And
I don't know about Fraud Watch now. Hopkins, this game was a game time decision, but I think if there was a semblance of fraudness, it's when DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray don't hook up for a touchdown. Because then Eli's team really isn't all that. I mean, Keenan Allen's going to get a lot of yards, or not a lot of yards. He's going to get a lot of receptions, but if they're not going for very many yards, there's just not a lot of value.
Mr. Davis, do you have anything to say about Mr. Keenan Allen?
Oh, I mean, Eli really loving. Eli just he really likes him. You know, he thinks he's worth at least 2 players in a draft pick.
What did you all get for him? Was it Juju and Melvin Gordon and a pick?
Juju, Melvin, and a pick.
A 6th round pick at that.
Like wow. Yeah.
6th, yeah.
I thought that was sweet.
I think him and Eli, like Keenan Allen, is very close to Eli's heart. Like, really.
It does look like Eli's same team for the past, like.
I swear, he has the same core team every year.
It's always Hopkins and Allen, it seems.
Every time I got Keenan Allen, he was always an underperformer for me. I just thought I don't know. He's a guy who I think he's just a lot better in like PPR formats.
I think so too.
The yards
but-
you'd like.
I know. Did I have him last year, like the year before, and then I traded him and he went off. So
Yeah.
that's how
But
it goes.
David Montgomery had a very, very good game against the Lions, but then
Now
he
he has no
unfortunately
knee.
went down with an injury and looks like we're not going to see him for the next, was it 3-4 weeks or so?
I saw 5-6.
5-6? Okay.
Yeah, Eli's team. Could
Injuries, bro. His injuries be killing everybody.
I know. You're telling me. Rip Gus Edwards. Well, there's not too much to say about Hitch, though. Hitch just keeps winning. It's a weird year. It's a Hitch year, baby. KatzPom ranked him 8th. That's what he did to TCAM last year, and Hitch is carrying the mantle. On to the next one, and we have the newly minted injured reserve list, Nick versus Kyler. God, Nick is just struggling without CMC. That's 2 in a row for Nick.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Now it kind of looks like his running back 2 now is kind of being phased out of the offense too. This is back-to-back weeks where Miles Sanders is just a non-factor.
And he's lucky that he's so lucky that CMC might only miss one more week.
Yep.
Because Kenyon Drake is just not it.
No,
Yeah.
he's definitely not it.
He's really bad. And then he saw obviously his starting tight end go out. Moved to IR now, so out at least is it short term or long term IR?
I think it was just a hammy injury, so I think it's short term, but
But,
still.
yeah. So at least 3 weeks.
To stick around.
He is struggling for a tight end though. I mean, it's hard to get a tight end in this league.
Yeah,
so.
it's difficult.
There's honestly about 6 real good tight ends, and you just gotta
Yeah.
kind of go with one every other week.
Yep.
I mean, Kyler's
Kittle's been
team
an
just didn't
underperformer
even.
this year.
Huh? Go ahead.
Even Kittle's been an underperformer this year. Hasn't seen the end zone yet.
Travis
I
Kelce
think
wasn't even that good
is.
last week either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been a rough. It's been a rough year for tight ends.
Unless you're Travis Kelce, like it's been very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wilson.
Is the
no.
was
no,
it Henderson or Hawkinson?
Hawkinson.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Hawkinson was super
he's been
hot to
nice.
start the year. He hasn't done much of anything the last 2.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been nice though. He'll bounce.
I will say Nick did kind of get fucked on a couple things. AB dropped 2 touchdowns on back-to-back plays.
Mhm.
So, and they were like 40 yards apiece too, 30 yards. So
He's wearing gloves.
that would have been a huge swing. So
He still lost, but I think he still would have lost. But God, Kyler's
Yeah.
team is still like underperforming too. Like,
I don't think I've seen Kyler's team even score 90 points this year. Has he?
I don't know. I mean,
don't say that now. He plays mean this week.
I mean, 15 out of a kicker and scoring 86 just isn't very good. I don't know. I think Nick is struggling for injury reasons, and Kyler keeps getting these weird contributions like from his kicker and from Jamar Chase and from like Henry Ruggs every now and again. And his big play, it's like, his big players will eventually bounce back and they'll even out, but like it just kind of hasn't happened yet. So very weird game this week. All right, let's move to the next one. Oh, yes, this was the game for the unofficial league championship.
Yeah.
What happened here, Katzenberg? Talk it all out.
A lot went wrong. So last week I said Ayuk is back. Turns out he is definitely not back. Also saw his quarterback leave the game with injury. So Trey Lance, I don't know. I hope he just throws to Ayuk next week because I'm starting to get scared with Ayuk again. Dalvin Cook leaves the game with an injury and is in and out of the lineup. Also just looks, I don't know what's with Mike Zimmer this year, but it's like after 3-4 years of just feeding Dalvin Cook, now it's like he just wants to ease off the brakes and not give him the ball very much. So
Ran him into the ground. You can't do it anymore.
yeah. But it was nice to see Corey Davis get a touchdown and a get right game for him. He was coming off of a bad week last week, and Titans defense is atrocious. So,
very bad. It's very bad.
Robert Woods got in the touchdown in the most garbage of garbage time ever. Outside of that, Gibson kind of does what he did.
Was that one
Yeah.
reception?
Yeah, I
One
think that's just one
for the TD.
reception. One reception, 48 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one reception touchdown. He had more than one reception, guys.
That
Oh,
is,
just need one. Just
I
need
guess
one.
that's true.
But also my defense, on paper, Giants or the number one fantasy defense against the Giants would have been a great start, but I don't know. Defense is just so hard to rank in fantasy football.
Yeah.
If you
And they
get,
don't post
like,
much.
unless you get like a ton of turnovers, like it's really hard.
I know. That's one thing. The Giants offense this year is not turning over the ball. Like Danny Dimes is not turning over the ball.
No, they're not.
And
It's wild.
It is wild, but we can move on. I think I have much to say. I'm pretty disappointed.
We'll just say this. Dave's going to lose Chris Carson for at least this week. He'll be starting J.D. McKissick. Hopefully Chris Carson's neck is okay, because otherwise Dave will have to be starting J.D. McKissick the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Dave is the unofficial league champion, so congratulations to Mr. Dave. All right. Oh, baby, look at what we're going through next. Mr. Davis, would you like to talk your shit to Mr. Alexander? Because I know that Mr. Alexander watches these.
I really wish Gavin was here. I mean, he just got thoroughly walloped, just all around. I benched Saquon a couple weeks ago. I sent him a text. I said, you know what, just rest up, young blood. You get some confidence in that knee, and then boom, last 2 weeks, he's going off.
Money.
Justin Tucker, nobody here appreciates. Actually, I think you guys do. He is a weapon. He is a free 15 points a week.
Kicker one. You have the number one kicker. You've had the number one kicker and the number one defense for the whole year.
He is a free 13 to 17 points every week. Like, you just chalk it up. Because the Ravens just are like, oh, we're at like the 50-yard line. I guess we'll let Justin just kick it. Why not?
Yeah.
I get that.
Or Mike Williams, though. Like, what a downgrade for Gavin. He was hoping it would be so close. And Mike didn't show up.
His whole team just didn't show up, to be fair.
Higbee didn't show up. I mean,
Digger didn't show up. Higbee didn't show up. Mike Williams didn't show up.
I was a little scared with Devontae Adams at first because I was watching that game and he got plenty of catches. It was just nothing super deep or for touchdowns. I thought he was eventually break one off.
It seemed like, and Davis, I'm sure you probably watched the game. It seemed like they were trying to take Devontae out of the offense.
They were
a little bit. Like they had safety help over him like the entire game.
They did.
He was catching a lot of balls, but for like 5-6 yards.
And I figured though, eventually one time he's going to get loose. There's going to be a missed coverage. He was just on it, but he never did.
Yeah, Gavin's team just continues to be absolutely allergic to the end zone.
And Tannehill didn't have either of his starting. I mean, he doesn't have Brown or Julio. So I don't know.
It's a good thing he still started him though, because he was going to start Teddy Bridgewater for about 30 minutes, and then he decided not to, and that would just made it even worse.
Yeah.
So
it is, as far as like a competitive standpoint from the whole league, it was nice to see Mike Williams kind of return to what he has been. And
fuck Mike Williams.
Because I don't know, Mike Williams, he was performing like a top 10 fantasy.
He was the number 2 receiver in fantasy, I think.
And that is just extremely high for Mike Williams. So.
Yeah,
I will like to say this too about my team. We have really rebounded since week 1, where Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley screwed me out of a win. And Trey Sermon and Zach Moss were both healthy scratches, and I had to trade for the Jets' backup running back.
Oh, Tevin Coleman.
And now we're sitting here with actual running back depth.
God, you could have Zach Moss right now too. That would have.
I cut him.
But you cut him because he was a healthy scratch. But
I wasn't keep the guy.
Dude's a tank, man.
Okay,
he went beast mode last year.
Real quick with the Zach Moss thing, because I see this everywhere. It's like, oh, Zach Moss, you got to start picking him up. He's a starter. I'm like, you realize like all of his work is in the most garbage time against terrible teams, right?
He just
like that's where all of his work. That's where all of his
points come
touchdowns
from.
Absolutely right. And you know what? I looked this up before. The Bills are throwing it on average 40 times a game. And so you go that, and he splits carries. I mean, he's I mean, sure, he's going to get the red zone carries, but honestly,
it's not sustainable production.
Josh Allen also likes to pull that bitch and take it himself.
He'll run it himself, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like we said, good win, Davis. Way to take Gavin down a peg.
Saquon is definitely back, though. I will say that.
He looked so much. He looked like he wasn't scared to run on his knee.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got one more before we get to Colby's one. And we really don't have to put too much thought into this. It's pretty much just the worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league, versus PK, who's been good for like basically a year and a half.
Hill.
So that's really all we got to say, right? Drew continues to trot out Sammy Watkins and Philip Lindsay and AJ Green. AJ Green's been good. The other two have been awful. So what does that say?
Yeah. I mean, fucking why did he start Philip Lindsay? I just can't. I don't
I'm laughing about why are you starting Philip Lindsay? Like, who can you go down to his other running backs?
There are no other running backs. He's got like Damian Williams. And
he's got Damian
Williams.
Oh God.
Dude, his options, 13. I mean,
like, Damian Williams had a good game, but like that's because David Montgomery got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is maybe the worst bench I've ever seen.
Also, he did drop Houston defense finally, though. He gave up on it.
Let's look at this, though. Even before he dropped Houston defense, they were projected negative points. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. Yeah. He willingly rostered a team that was projected to do more harm than good.
Oh my God.
Drew might actually be a little bit better now since he backed into Damian Williams, you know. He actually is a second running back. Clyde's been good. Cooper Kupp's having a rough game tonight, but he's been good. Waller's still a top tight end.
How much money did Drew lose betting on his team to win it all this year is the real question, because this team is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this.
It's a train wreck.
Other than Cooper Kupp. And I guess Darren Waller, but like honestly, he needs to trade Darren Waller.
Every
time we talk about Drew,
Davis watches the episodes, obviously, because we've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Yes, every time we've talked about Drew's team on this podcast, we all say, "Why do you not trade Darren Waller, Drew? Why? You don't need an elite player in a premium position if you don't have good anything else."
If you're watching, hit me up, bro, because he belongs on my team. He was that random tight end pick, and I went with it, dude. And that was when he had that breakout season. He belongs on my team.
Well, go get him, Colby. Drew needs parts. But now he's not going to trade him because he has Damian Williams for like 5 weeks. So, you know.
Oh, God.
All right. So let's go for the last recap game. And, you know, it's kind of the same old. The guy who's the only undefeated team left in the league beat the shit out of the guy who's the only remaining guy who doesn't have any wins left in the league. So there's really not a whole lot to go over other than that Fox's team sucks and Colby's team is good.
Yeah, no, Fox's team, we were talking about Drew's team. Fox's team is looking pretty #bad now, too. It's looking pretty rough. By
the way, I hate to interrupt. How did Colby's team score 130 points with 11 out of Brady, 0 out of DJ Shark, and 0 out of Robbie Gold?
I've just now noticed that Robbie Gold was out, and so was Clark.
2 words, Davis Mills.
Derrick
Henry
Mills Mafia.
Worse.
Yeah. And Sam, let me just fact check you. You said New England was the best defense. Not true.
Buffalo Tampa was the best defense.
Or Tampa, yeah, my bad. Tampa. Buffalo is the #1 defense, and they're on my team.
Yeah, because they scored 24 points.
Are we going to talk about who they've played against, too?
Buffalo's
I don't know
against,
about that.
like,
I just trust my gut.
No. It doesn't fit his narrative. Keep it moving.
This is exactly what happened to me a couple weeks ago when Tampa Bay faced Atlanta, and they had like 2 touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I was starting Matt Ryan that week. Everyone knows how much I don't like Matt Ryan right now.
Dude, can we talk about how nice Deebo Samuels is, though? Deebo's the fucking man.
Deebo is the man.
He's going to be top of the league.
It would be nice if defenses just didn't like forget where he is on the football field.
Dude's a ghost, man.
nice.
Jamal
The dude's a
Adams
ghost.
sucks. Jamal Adams is just Mark Barron, but a little bit better.
Colby, who's sliding in for DJ Shark this week?
Let's look at the
Well,
bench.
I'm hoping AJ Brown's gonna be good to go, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe.
I guess
Oh, yeah.
he's not coming back. Yeah.
Or I could just start Kenny Galladay.
All
I guess.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
could.
day.
I got a couple options.
Yeah, he's got
No, I
you have
don't.
a nicely constructed team. You even got Jeremy McNichols
I
out
was
here.
gonna say your roster, your bench looks really good.
Who are you
No, we
starting
don't.
for Joe Mixon this week? You have Joe Mixon, right?
No,
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Are you gonna be starting David Johnson if he can't go, or do you have anyone else?
Well, my thought was maybe throw Nichols in there because he gets a few touches and might score, and then you're just getting all of the running game.
From Tennessee. Who's Tennessee play this week?
I believe it's Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Oh God.
Yeah, you should be good.
By the
David,
way-
then.
By the way, fantasy football aside, if the Titans lose back-to-back weeks from the Jets and then the Jags, I think they
alert.
need to be relegated to college
Yeah.
Absolute frauds at that point.
because
No
Yeah.
kitty.
I'll give you that.
There you go. Hi, Mr. Ollie. How you doing?
Ollie.
Well, I don't
All
know.
right.
I mean, I'd
All
like
right,
to.
so that's enough of that. Let me stop the share real quick. And Katz, I believe I have allowed you to share. So how about we get to these power rankings real quick?
yes, let's get to the power ranks. Power ranks are
please.
super short and sweet this week.
Please
There
do.
wasn't a lot of movement. God, hold on.
What were you asking about, Colby?
I thought, yeah, power rankings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got the power.
I'd
I
like
don't think
to-
we had any
I'd
trades.
like to
with
know.
anything.
So we had 0 trades,
Huh.
and not a lot of movement. I mean, this section's really just going to be kind of open for debate. But I just broke down positions, position rankings, and then I just kind of put either like red for bad, green for good as far as positions, like amongst all the league. So we'll start with Sam. I mean, you've got the most epitome of average team outside of your quarterback, and your quarterback is very bad.
Hey,
So,
hey.
it's
Taylor
still bad.
Heineke has not started a game this year and scored under 20 points. So I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
if only you play the Falcons every week, right?
He scored
Or the
20
Giants.
against the Giants and 20 against whoever the hell they played week 3. I don't remember who the
Yeah,
Bills. The Bills. He scored 20 against the Bills.
Okay. But Eli, I mean, he's got some really high end positions. And then the thing about Eli's team is I think this kind of does a lot of justice is his weaknesses are still like average players. They're not like bad. So, but that's that. My team's kind of up and down every week. I don't
Every
really
week.
know what to
Yo-yo.
expect. So, quarterback is one of my areas of consistency. I would even put that as a green area because I feel good about my quarterback. But Dalvin Cook, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. But outside of that, wide receiver is not what I thought it was a couple weeks ago. Tight ends, I got a tight end now. I think I'm just gonna roll with Dalton Schultz the rest of the year. So we'll see.
That might work. He might end up being a pretty good tight end by the end of the year if he keeps
Maybe.
catching keys.
Gavin's team is basically, if you take out Devontae Adams, his team is kind of bad.
Hey, by the way, we have an update from the Thursday night game. Russell Wilson has an injured finger, and Geno Smith is in the game.
Ooh.
No. As a Seahawks bettor, no. Okay. That's not good. But I almost actually flipped Gavin's receiving core and T cams this week because it seems like Tyreek Hill is. I mean, I think his ceiling is his ceiling higher than Devontae Adams as far as
He's got more explodability.
Yes,
What's the
I think
down
like
there?
I think Adams will average, like he'll be more consistent, but I think Tyreek will go off for the bigger games.
yeah.
I don't.
and
I
then-
see Devontae's more of like a one touchdown a week guy. Tyreek's more of like a, hey, I probably might not score for 2 weeks, but then I'm gonna score 3. So
Yeah. And then just look at all the red on Drew's team there. It's a lot of red.
Oh no, Drew's team
Um,
stinks.
But then we got Nick here. I highlighted the tight end because he lost his starting tight end, and I don't know who he's starting right now, but I remember it was really bad.
Let me check. I'm gonna check real quick. You keep going, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. Let's see. Game of Jones, Cody's team. I mean, Cody's
Who's
got
this?
Aaron Jones and Josh Allen, who will combine for a lot of points week to week. So
Cats. So is this
What's
like
up?
the whole season like fluctuation, or is this
it's
just
yeah,
based
it's
on last
like
week?
yeah,
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 so
it
this is like the position ranks to start. He'll get to the
Yeah.
like composite score at the
it's
end.
based on how I feel about them for the rest of the year, though.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not just like a week,
Gotcha.
like that given week, given the matchup. Like I don't break down like the matchups and stuff.
Oh, Nick's
All right,
starting
all right,
Hunter
Skip.
Henry this week.
All right, Skip.
That could be worse.
Yeah, but
Tom or Skip Skip Katzenberg.
yeah, but I mean, pretty much it. Colby, your team now. Okay, I think your quarterback's fine. I don't think that even should be highlighted red necessarily. And the other two, so I should have prefaced by saying this. I did not adjust the kickers and the defenses at all this week. Like at all. Like I just think it fluctuates so much that I'm just gonna do the rankings of the kick, and it matters very little when it comes to composite score too. I mean, it's literally 6% of your ranking is based on kicker and defense.
Gotcha.
So
Well, I just point out Tom Brady's 4th in overall points. So
I still think, I mean, I don't know.
Get
I
him,
don't think he's that
Colby.
good.
yeah, Tom Brady's 4th in overall points, and
Who-
Buffalo has been leading overall points pretty much the whole season. So,
Okay.
Colby's got
Number
some
one.
issues with the
Number one.
KatzPom.
Okay.
number 1, bro.
Okay.
Davis, I feel like you got some issues with the KatzPom too.
Now,
Looking at your
so it's
running back.
all Colby, it's all based on how they're ranked amongst the league. So what quarterbacks that I ranked Brady under do you think you would move him above?
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Now I'd
Yeah.
have to see the list, but
The
'Cause
only
it's fair. It's fair. I think Brady, I think he is slowing down a little bit, but he's just in that perfect system with all those weapons. I mean, I'm not counting on them for the 30-point, 40-point games that,
Yeah,
Kyler
and he's
Murray or
perfectly
Mahomes
average,
might
and he's
get.
not really, as
But
long as you have a quarterback that's not ranked 14th, I think you're good.
yeah, I mean, you just know Brady's going to be consistent,
Yeah, sorry, that was a flagrant on me.
Yeah, dude.
That's flagrant.
Whatever. Heineke's gonna lead me to the playoffs. I don't give a shit.
I agree with my receiver ranking. I think that is my weakness, but definitely not 11th in running back. I mean, between Saquon, Sermon, I mean, probably we'll trade away Sermon once Elijah Mitchell's healthy, and then Melvin Gordon and Tony Pollard. I mean, that's a pretty good.
Got a stable.
It's just, well, that's where I always get hurt. Every year, it's always I'm missing running backs because they just get killed.
Dude,
Saquon especially.
Barkley's getting boned by the Jets just being shit. So
I mean, Saquon
Yeah.
still isn't getting 20.
I think it's all about your running back too, Davis.
touches.
I think you're running back too. Now we're assuming Elijah Mitchell's going to come back and be what he was in week 1, but I don't know. I don't want to make that assumption.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll just
I
have to
get that.
see.
So,
All right, let's
and
move to the
it's Kyle
composite.
Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan gets another running back this week. He might just give Jeff Wilson 100 carries.
That's a good point. It could go to anyone.
Yeah.
Let's get to the composite score real
All right.
quick.
So
We
the
only got
composite
about
scores. Bam. There's this week's power rankings. Really
Eli
not a
number
lot
one
of movement.
again.
Yeah. Sam, you did. Yeah. You're right around 8th again. Or
Wait a minute. I
you
beat
down.
Cody and I fell. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How does that work? That's
It's all based on
bullshit.
positions. It's all based on position ranking.
That's bullshit. My quarterback didn't get any worse. My running backs performed better than they
Your
did
quarterback
last.
is still the 14th ranked quarterback in the league.
My quarterback is better. My quarterback's better than Baker Mayfield. Fuck you.
Okay, so he would have moved up to 13th.
You're damn right he would have.
Okay, that
Whatever.
doesn't help your composite score much.
Whatever.
But that's pretty
we'll prove
much
the
it.
haters wrong.
Okay. You do that.
Davis is still 13th. God, he's probably the one that needs to be the absolute bombastic out of
because
here.
the last 3 weeks I've averaged like 100 points a game.
Okay.
I definitely there's definitely some teams on here I would say I'm much better than.
Who's that?
Call him out, Davis. Call him out.
Game of Jones. Come on.
Oh shit! Oh, he went straight for Cody. Okay.
You went straight for Cody.
I went straight for Cody. Cody's team, no. Like, no. Definitely
I beat Cody's team.
No longs. I mean, also, how is Eli always up top? Up here.
I don't know. He always just wins games. It's bullshit.
I know.
Hey, I'm gonna say, dude, like I'm a little bit more worried about playing Davis than I was Gavin. So I mean, I think he could be they're a little better than Gavin.
I can see where you're coming from, actually, because I think the way I see Gavin's team is it's just like there's not a lot of ceiling there. And I think with Davis, I mean, Davis is, like he said, put up 100 week or pretty much averaging 100 points the last couple of weeks. So I can see what you're talking about there, but
these are garbage. These are Bleacher Report rankings at best.
Like
right here.
Who's like the summer intern.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we only got about 6 minutes left before we get screwed over by Zoom. I think kind of one of the big things I wanted to do is I wanted to let Colby and Davis talk about their matchup coming up here this week. So I'm going to leave the floor to Colby real quick, since he is technically the only undefeated man left in this league. So Colby, what do you think about playing Davis this week?
I'm excited. I think it's, a challenge. Personally, y'all were talking nice about my bench, but I don't have the faith in the bench that you do, I think. So I'm definitely out here. I'm always making moves. You know that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do want to point out for you, Sam, I've been steady climbing on like the league rankings when it comes to like the gold. I recently reached gold level. So watch that. Your boy's steady climbing. I'm out for that. I'm out for that trophy this year.
Well, I tell you what, Colby, you've been doing a really good job this year, considering that you didn't have your 4th or your 5th round pick this year.
Yes, I did.
And to be where you're at is kind of an amazing feat. We thought you had traded it all away for a one shot.
I'm going to turn this over because you brought up the picks. You're kind of not doing very good for someone who had an extra 4th and an extra 6th round pick.
Well, I tell you what, Katz, we started out 1-5 the last time we had extra 4th and 5th round picks, and we won the title that year. So it's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's the truth. I started 1-5 the year that I had the extra picks.
So is starting 1-5 the new meta? People are.
It could be.
I
mean, I'm one of the only people who can start 1-5 still. Not a lot of people can do that right now.
That's facts.
All right,
I'm not going to start 1-5.
Yeah. All right. Well, Davis, I'm not interested too much in talking the shit, but I will say I'm mad. If anything, I want Emmanuel Sanders back. That was my only regret, is being too young for Betty White and dropping Emmanuel Sanders like in the first week. So.
Like immediately after the Steelers played the Bills and Josh Allen threw it like 51 times, I went to see who had Emmanuel Sanders, and because he had like a few missed opportunities, like, damn it, Colby has him. And then literally like the very next week, or like the week later, I was like, is Emmanuel Sanders just on the waiver wire? And I was like a Tuesday.
Yeah, dude. I had that gut feeling too. Like he's like that veteran guy with a good quarterback and a good system. Like he's worth stashing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
at least one vet's always worth stashing.
Also, this is a question for the league. I got Hunter Renfrow, and if I would have started him last week, would that 4th down hit he put on that fake punt, would I have got extra points for that? Like at least
No. You would have had to tackle him. You would have gotten points for a tackle, I think.
What are points for a tackle?
No, we don't have points for tackles. We have points for sacks.
Oh.
So no points for tackles.
What about for like ESPN top 10? Like that's got to be.
Maybe we could do something like that someday. I don't think we can change up the scoring right now.
Hey,
But
dude, I'm still
Are we
I'm
doing
still a believer
predictions?
in that count. A modified bench points.
what? No, shut up. We're never gonna have bench points get added to our total score, you Nimrod. Not in a 14-team league either. You have like two
Wait.
decent.
Colby, you're rolling out Khalil Herbert as your running back too?
I'm tempted. We'll see how it plays out.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All
What
right,
they
Davis.
say?
You want to talk any shit? We got about 2 minutes left,
If
Davis.
this was anybody else but Colby, like if this was Drew or like Eli, even Colton, like I'd be talking like mad shit. But honestly, like kind of a little intimidated. Colby's team is like it's pretty good. I think there's some good depth there. But I will say this. The spread, I mean, it's really not that far this week. I mean, the projected points.
Isn't it like 6 points or something?
It's like 6
Yeah,
points.
no, I think
Yeah.
you definitely have a chance. My guys. You can't expect them to all hit every week. So.
I mean, I almost beat Colby, so
I mean, Debo Samuel's going to come back to reality at some point, right?
Eventually he's
Nah.
gonna double team.
Nah.
No, he's just the best receiver.
Debo.
in the league.
Best receiver ever. Well, I tell you what, Davis, if you just want to say something to Drew, since we love talking shit on Drew, you can do that real quick because we got a minute and a half.
Oh, Drew, you just need to like take your Yahoo app and you just need to delete it. Like you hit all and then go into your phone settings into like the storage and make sure it forgets that you downloaded. That way, just in case you got like your Face ID to your password on that, it just wipes it. So you can't even like try to go back in because like your season's done. Like your team is just not there. And Eli, how does it feel to lose to me every single year? Every single year. Some years I wouldn't even check my fantasy team. I'd be like, oh, I beat Eli again this week. I didn't even set my roster.
Dude, straight facts. Davis, for as not great as he's been over the past 5 years, beats Eli every single time.
I think I have to look it up. I kill Eli. Like,
Hold up. Breaking news in Katz's world. Robert Woods has 14 targets, 12 catches, and 150 yards.
Atta kid.
Ooh.
He's
All
back.
right, so we got less
He's
than
back.
a minute. Let's leave it off with predictions. Katz, who you got?
This week, I'm gonna go here. Let me look at the matchup real fast. So you
Don't
can
be
skip
mean.
me.
We
Come
got
back to
less
me.
than a minute, so
Come
you
on,
just got
brother.
rapid fire. I'm
Come
taking
on, brother.
Colby.
Oh, it's me. It's me.
Give me Colby. Just
All right,
because
Davis,
Derrick
you're the
Henry's going
underdog.
against
Sorry,
Jacksonville.
buddy.